So Chenille wants to know, I heard you say it's important to have a digital portfolio. I want to help my daughter to do that with her drawings. How do you do that? Is there a class, a book, a program?
It can be as simple as you screen shoot them and put them on your phone. It can be that simple. Anybody can do that. The trick to
Right.
good screenshots of drawings is find a sunny spot where the sun comes into the house, put the picture on the rug, and just hold the phone over it. It works. It's
Okay.
easy to do. No, you don't. You just need to have them where you can find them easily, and you don't find like the absolutely ridiculous cat picture along with it, or some other thing that you really wouldn't want to show.
Yeah,
But
that
just
would be
have
interesting.
them. You never know where you could show off your work and get a job. I learned, and I had my portfolio was in a notebook, and you just have the pictures there, and you can show it. And you can take really decent screenshots of pictures. The trick is sun. I've got one a certain time of day. The sun comes in the sliding door, and I've got big, sun on the carpet, and I just put when I was old photos I've had. That's how I used them. That's how. There's a photo in my new book on the outdoor scientist right here. The outdoor scientist get kids outside. I screenshot that on the floor of my house. It was
Hold
no
that up again.
out of the. Yep, that's the outdoor scientist. My new
Is
book.
this out yet?
It just came out.
The outdoor scientist. What will we find in it, Temple?
Well, it's getting kids outside, observing nature, doing the kind of things that I did when I was a child. We collected rocks. My sister and I both collected rocks, and we bust them open. Now you need to wear safety goggles for that to see what they look like inside. And then we displayed them on shelves in the tool shed. And we had a great time doing that. Starts out on the beach, finding shells, making artwork out of shells. Um, animal behavior, watching animals, getting involved with citizen science, looking at the stars. Just get kids outside doing things, and none of the stuff's expensive.
I
And there's
love it.
also projects in there that kids can do.
I love it. And is that available through Future Horizons?
Yeah, you can get it Future Horizons. You get it on Amazon. It'd be available everywhere. Your local independent bookstore. In fact, it made the independent bookstore bestseller list for kids' books.
I love it. I love it. And what a great book as we're starting to come out of this isolation and get our kids outdoors. That's a great, I know many people have written about the anxiety kids are having about being outdoors. This is a great book to get them back
The
outside.
thing is, you're not going to get COVID. I've really researched on getting COVID. You go out in your front lawn, a lot of the stuff you could do on your front lawn, and there's no people around your front lawn, you're not going to get COVID going outside.
Right.
It's when you get, when during all the COVID last summer, people were tubing on the Poudre River. They were not getting sick. I'll tell you where they were getting sick. We'd have a restaurant, all the employees sick. We'd have a store, all the employees sick. They're jamming in little tiny break rooms where they take their masks off, and then the entire staff would be sick. And I figured out it's airborne, and you're not going to get it just going out in a field somewhere where there's no other people. That's safe to do, even with the new, more infectious strains. These are things that you could do.
Right. I think it's a great idea.
I finally got vaccinated in February, but I'd walk around my neighborhood and I did all kinds of stuff outside. And I even ate carefully on some restaurant patios, very carefully, because I was had to do some stuff so I wouldn't go crazy.
Absolutely.
But even vaccinated, I'm going to wear a mask with a bunch of people inside.
Absolutely.
And then that's the one thing that you really need to do. Looking at all the science, there was just an airplane that had a big infection.
Scary.
And see, you're in there with a bunch of people. I did not go on an airplane until I was fully vaccinated, which was 3 weeks after my second Pfizer shot.
And they say that you've got great common sense advice. They love that.
No,
Hasali wants,
and there's the things you can do in this book, you can do even if we're locked down. If you've got a yard or some place like that, you can go. Even if you're in the city, well, pigeons are interesting to observe. There's plenty of wildlife there. Even in the city, there's things to do.
I love it. I can't wait to get it. Hasali wants to know, this is one you'll love. During the pandemic, I allowed my son more time to play video games than I should have. How do you recommend weaning him off of it now? And how do I get him interested in something else?
Well, you do it slowly, but you replace it with something else and give them choices. And I'm the visual thinkers like me. I've talked about the different kinds of minds, and the visual thinkers like me that are good at art and building things tend to get addicted to video games. The word thinkers that like history less so, I think. But we replace it with something else. And somebody just wrote on the chat here. They looked outside while of the bus. They saw birds digging for worms. Okay, that's the kind of stuff I want you observing. And right after the outdoor scientist went to print, I was sitting in the gazebo with my students, and a squirrel was under a tree digging, and then he put the nut in his mouth, and he tried the depth of the hole, and it wasn't deep enough. And so he digged some more, and he put the nut in his mouth, then he'd try it. Wasn't, and finally, after 3 tries, he got a hole that was deep enough to hide the nut. That was 10 feet from my front door. So there's all kinds of things that like this you can observe. I saw a crow the other day. I walk around just through the condo complex every day, and I was doing that during the height of COVID when I was not vaccinated. I was walking around there, and there was a crow that wanted to get a drink. So he goes to a pothole in the middle of the road and takes a drink, goes, ick. And then he drank some over by the side of the road that was cleaner, and he drank that.
Oh, how funny.
That was something, but that's fun stuff to observe. Because since I've done this book, I'm now looking more carefully just in my own neighborhood. There's bunnies, there's squirrels. There's
the interesting thing is that we keep being told about mindfulness, and that this is exactly the same thing they tell us to do with mindfulness, is to take a moment and observe nature. And they're showing across the board that it helps reduce stress, that it helps reduce your blood pressure, that you'll have less anxiety if you tune into nature in just the way that you're describing.
Well, but there's interesting things to observe. We've got to get doing stuff. Another thing that's helped me with all this lockdown stuff: get up in the morning, get dressed, ready for work by 7 o'clock. That's what they do on the space station. I suggested, I think on the last program, life on the International Space Station, but being on a schedule. And I found that when I get out of the shower, I feel a whole lot better than I did when I went into the shower. You say, and then get dressed for work, not in jammies.
Yes, I agree. I don't always do it, but I agree. Thanks for watching Autism Live. If you found anything helpful in this video, please give us a like. In fact, make sure that you smash that subscribe button on YouTube and give us a like on Facebook. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram for important updates. And please download our free podcast wherever you get your podcasts. See you next time. Until then, give your kiddos a hug from me and one for you too. Bye-bye for now.
To subscribe, click here. And if you'd like to check out some more of our videos, click here.